Glad to be among the living. You know, that's the main thing. How you doing?
I'm good, bro. I'm kind of enjoying my staycation right now, to be honest with you.
Oh, absolutely. Same here, man. Same here. We work hard all year during the year and stuff, so it's great to have a nice little break. Just trying to get my camera adjusted now, so yeah.
No, you're good.
Yeah. Hold on, let me move this cover over a little bit. Make sure everything is adjusted.
Perfect.
All right.
Awesome, man. Thanks a lot for having me, bro. I appreciate it a lot.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thank you for reaching out, man. I'm glad that you watch the show. I love when people reach out and stuff because we tell people all the time, if you want to get on the show, just reach out to us and we can do stuff like this. So this is the first time I'm doing an interview like this. So hopefully this, continue forward, like for artists and people that live out of the country, out of town, like who can't come to Atlanta. So yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely, bro. I'll send you the recording too afterward. I'm like recording the screen recording, so you'll have the video and the audio, so it'll be super easy.
Okay, screen record. Okay, it says we'll have to quit and come back on for us to do the screen record.
Oh, really? Well, I'm recording it on my end.
Oh, so I mean, he'll send it to me. He'll send it to me.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. It's super easy. But if you see on the bottom, just for future, on the bottom where it's like invite, manage, participants, share, chat, there's a thing that should say recording all the way on the right.
Yeah.
I think if you just click that, it'll start recording your screen, and at the end it'll save your video and it'll save the audio, so you could have the podcast and the video for YouTube.
Okay, got it. Okay, so once you send it to me, I'll be able to upload it to my page and all that stuff. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Super easy. Yeah, man.
All right, so we can get this thing started.
Let's go. Let's get it.
All right, man. So let me bring some. Okay. All right. So greetings, Redheads. Thank you for joining us in another episode of Red's View. I'm your gracious host, Jay Red. I have a special guest with me today. Now, DJ PM is not here right now, but we're going through quarantine and stuff like that. But I'm excited about this particular interview because this is the first time I've done something like this, and hopefully in the future we can get more artists, more of y'all who want to get some shine, some spotlight, get interviews, all that stuff. You can do it this way. We're using the Zoom app and uploading it to YouTube. So this is the first shot. The first guest that I have doing this is Leezythegifted.
Wow, I'm honored. Honored to be the first, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, man. You're inaugural.
Wow, that's awesome, man. Thanks so much for having me, man. I really, really appreciate it a lot.
Absolutely. Like I said, thank you for reaching out, man. Glad that you've been keeping up with the show, following the channel and stuff like that. That's real dope. So it looks like I see you, man. How you got like a nice little piano right there.
Yeah, man. It's the studio right here, really. So I'm actually out in the garage. I could flip this whole thing around. We can check out. So this is where I record everything right here. So yeah, I'm out in the garage. We got this piano. We actually got this piano for free. This guy who I know is a real estate agent was selling a house, and they had this. So we were walking by, my dad and I, we were like, hey, can we get this piano? He just gave it to us for free because he was trying to get rid of it. So yeah, I mean, and it works, gets the job done. But yeah, that was a quick tour of the little studio I got going on here.
That's dope, man. And I can tell already that you care about your craft because, great music and great things come from like places that you're comfortable with, your habitat. And I'm looking around now and I'm like, man, some of those places are the best places to actually make music and stuff. You know what I'm saying? You don't need like a big studio. It'd be nice to have it. But I mean, sometimes you're in your element, right? Don't you agree?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, dude, that's a great point. Like, it definitely, bro, like you can make great music anywhere, basically, especially anywhere that's inside. If you're inside of a house, or if you have like a tool shed or a shack, whatever, you can pretty much make anything with the right setup. I got the microphone up here, the speakers, the stuff. Yeah, it costs some money, but the mic was only $100. I mean, overall, everything costs not that much. And if you know what you're doing with mixing and mastering, if you know how to record your voice, it's not that difficult. dude, you can literally make industry quality music from anywhere. I mean, you know, I'm managing to do it here in the garage just from learning how to mix and master. And I just think a lot of people end up putting like somewhat excuses on why they haven't built their studio. So, but that, you know, that's just my opinion on it.
I get it. I get it 110%.
Mm.
So, but I mean, just I can already have admiration for you right now just from seeing that, because I do the same thing with my music. You know, we have a studio built here and everything like that in my house. So that's dope. So let's get into you, man. So tell us briefly about yourself, man. What do you want people to know about you firsthand?
Man, well, first, man, thank you for just having me on here. I'm super excited just to be on here. I mean, so my name's Leezythegifted. You can call me Lee. That's my government. And I've been doing music since I was, well, I started writing music when I was 14, and I'm 26. So like I've been writing lyrics for 12 years. But when I was 17 years old in 2011 was when I was like, man, I'm going to take music really seriously. You know, and my dreams and my goals were to have high achievement, become super wealthy, celebrity, you know, pop star type of thing. And so I had, you know, started with that kind of being the driving force.
Mm-hmm.
And I was only rapping at the time, writing lyrics and recording and performing. And 7 years later, you know, I was always depending on producers and I was always depending on other people to get my music done. And so 7 years later, after I graduated college, I was like, man, I need to start producing my own music. I can't depend on other people to get my music done. It just isn't working out. I didn't have the budget to buy beats a lot, nor did I have the patience to let somebody else control my creativity. So I started producing music, and I think I'm about 2.5 years into producing my own music. And I still have that goal of achievement, but I think really I've transformed more into now I want to help artists. Now I want to be other artists' producers because I'm a rapper. I understand what artists are going through and I get what it is that you're struggling with. I believe more than other producers. So I do still want to achieve, but I'm at the point now where I'm transformed more into trying to help others, trying to help rappers and provide beats at a little bit more of an affordable rate and also provide free bonuses a little bit outside of beats, things like marketing, success guides. I want to start building video courses, things of that nature. So that's kind of where I've been at. You know, I have a clothing brand that I'm rocking here called Gifted by Choice, partnered up with the homies. Yeah. So I've got a lot of that going on, and Gifted by Choice is all about pursuing your gift. Like we all have some kind of a gift, but it's our choice to pursue that gift through hard work, passion, and dedication. And like, that's where my rap name Leezythegifted comes from. So I think that's pretty much all about me in a nutshell. Yeah. From California, from the Bay Area. Yeah.
Oh yeah, from the Bay. So the West Coast, you know, I like the that you're from the West Coast because I grew up on West Coast hip hop music. That's what made me be who I am today, the artist I am today. But one thing I want to touch on is that you seem to be a man that wears many hats. You know, you got your foot being a rapper, you got your foot in also being a producer, you got your foot also in having your own clothing line, and then also what I admire about you the most is I was going through your channel, I mean your Instagram page, even on your YouTube channel, and you have different motivational videos trying to help artists other than just like, because I did the same thing, you know, we're in a new age of technology and things of that nature. Back in the day, you know, artists could only just rap, go to the studio and hope a record label could do X, Y, and Z for them.
Yeah.
But somebody like you said, you know what? I know what type of music I want to make. I'm going to take charge and do what I want to do. I'm going to make my own beats, being independent, you know. And then not only am I doing that now, but I'm using social media to my advantage, not just posting my music, because most of the things that I saw on your page was helping artists, you know. And like it's like 5 tips to do this, 5 tips to do that. Like that's what I really, really admired about it. So I'm glad that you explained that and said that you wanted to do more outside of being an artist. How important do you think it is nowadays to go into that direction versus just rapping or just producing?
Oh man, first I appreciate you checking me out and just seeing everything, and it really means a lot to me. So yeah, I think it's critical. I mean, another reason I became a producer was because, so I realized like when I was just a rapper writing lyrics, making songs, you're kind of, it's really, really a rough truth. But the way I looked at it was you're kind of worthless if that's all you can do. If you're only putting out music,
Right.
unless you're putting out a song a week consistently and interacting with fans and you're putting out videos. I think in that case, okay, you can kind of live with it if you're constantly putting stuff out, but we know most people aren't doing that. So I think it's critical to be putting yourself out there with other types of content. I've really taken a lot from Gary Vee, and one of the things he says is document over creation. And what he means by that is show people the behind the scenes, and that right there is the piece of content. So as artists, we're always like songs, but there's also, you could make a podcast talking about your song. You could make a YouTube vlog. You could have, like what we're doing, an interview show where you're presenting yourself in different ways. And I think in the age we're like, it's interesting because like what we've seen up to this point is rappers who put music. But I think in the next 10 to 15 years, we're going to start seeing, like, DDG, the rapper DDG.
Not fond of him.
I think his Instagram is Pontiac DDG, but this dude was a YouTuber. Like that was his YouTube, vlogging was his thing, and now he's a rapper blown up, but it's from YouTube. And I think that that's a great example of people who don't just put out music, right? That you got to start doing more than just putting out music. And I recommend you start producing, but if you don't produce, that's fine, but you should be putting out some kind of a piece of content every week. And if it's not a song, that's fine, but put out a YouTube video, or a podcast is my recommendation, or even a written blog about something you're passionate about. Like a while ago, I was on the phone with a producer named Tornado, and he wanted to talk about mental health and depression and anxiety. And he wants to write a blog about it and do a podcast. That's great. That's not music related, but it's life related. So yeah, man, I think it's critical. I just think it's kind of like this, bro. I played basketball growing up. And any sport, it's like a funnel. When everybody starts, you have this big funnel. Everybody's playing who's third, fourth, fifth graders. And you get older and the funnel starts to get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller until you get to like pro sports, NBA's right here. That's the way it is in music. Everybody's a rapper. Like anybody could literally just start rap. But then you get down to, okay, who's the dudes who put out content? Who's the dudes who put out content and produce? And then you get smaller and smaller to those pros. So I just think when I was a rapper, I was way out here with every other billion rappers. And I was like, well, I got to produce to elevate. Now I got to do content. So that's really the reason I got into everything.
Absolutely. And I'm real glad that you put that out there, because that's what I try to preach to people that follow me and people that I come into contact with all the time. It's like, gone are the days when you can just be a rapper if you're not signed. If you don't have any major backing, now is very critical, because that made me want to start my own podcast and my YouTube show. Like, because I know I comment on things in the culture. I've always been a hip hop fan first before I became a rapper. So people value my opinion. So I said, hey, why not start my own show? So I got motivation from other people to do it, and look where we are now. That's great. So as far as, let's dive into your artist side. So who were your influences growing up as far as hip hop?
That's a good question. My first ever favorite rapper was 50 Cent. That was the first rapper I was like, this is my favorite rapper. I love him. I still have love for 50 Cent. Now though, and then it was Kendrick Lamar. Wale used to be one of my favorite artists. He was, oh my God, his album Ambition actually like changed my life. So I love that. And J. Cole, obviously we grew up. How old are you, by the way?
I'm actually 31.
You're 31? Okay, I'm 26, around the same age.
Yeah.
So we watched Kendrick and J. Cole, and those dudes blow. So I would say J. Cole, Kendrick, Wale, Big Sean was big, Kanye West, of course. But then other dudes like Rick Ross, like guys who were like personal branding and like business. So like guys like him and Jay-Z were huge influences to see that they were more than artists. The late great Nipsey Hussle, obviously huge influence on me with everything he did. And now my favorite artist right now is Kevin Gates. It's not even close. He's my top number one guy. I love him. And then I love Drake. Right now I have a lot of interest in Rod Wave. So I'm into artists who have melodies, so like Rod Wave, obviously, but also rap about real shit. So Kevin Gates and Rod Wave are two dudes. Roy Woods is huge. Drake. So I'm wondering if I'm missing. No, I think that's
people that the people that you name, especially like when you started with Kendrick and J. Cole, that like I could hear that when I heard one of your songs. I forgot what the name of it was, but the
that's
first
right.
thing that you told me about was that you're melodic,
Mm-hmm.
and I do gravitate towards melodic rappers because I grew up off of melodic rappers too from the '90s. So that's a great following of artists that you have to look up to, because you said Wale, J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar. And the most important thing that you said is that you like to listen to people that rap about real shit. Now, do you feel like in hip hop right now that a lot of the real shit rappers, like the J. Coles and Kendrick Lamar, do you see any newer artists on the horizon that have resemblance to those artists? Or do you think it's going to be leaning more towards everybody just want to party, having a good time, like the Uzi Verts, the Lil Yachty's, you know what I'm saying? Like the new wave of artists. Do you see any like J. Cole's and Kendrick's you see coming out now?
That's a good question, man. I mean, I think I mean, honest with you, I'm not as deeply dialed in to every single. I'm not in the trenches paying attention to all the artists like I used to be. But I can say that I know there's still artists out there rapping about real shit, and there's still that mixture of artists who rather would make music that is more fun and like, I don't know what to call it. I don't really like to call it like mumble rap. I don't like any kind of degrading terms on any music. It doesn't make sense to me. I think that though, I think it's just always going to be, there's probably always going to be more rappers where it's music with less depth. Like there's going to be a lot more of those, but there will be those real artists. You know, it's sort of interesting actually to answer, like really answer. So my friend Gabe and I, we went to, we saw J. Cole at Oracle Arena last year, and Earth Gang and Young Thug opened for him.
Yeah.
Sick. It was a sick concert.
Yeah,
Earth Gang sick. And Young Thug is also pretty dope. And it was kind of like, why is Young Thug opening for Cole? So, but I was talking to my boy Gabe, and I was like, bro, I just love the fact that Young Thug like made his own lane. And I like felt like I wanted to do music more like that and put out more music. And I told him, I just feel like there's more artists popping like that. And then he said this thing that really impacted me. Gabe said, you might want to make music like Young Thug and put out music more frequently, but he's the one opening for J. Cole. I was like, oh shit. So we all talk. So it's hard because when you're a rapper, you're so desperate to get plays and clout and fame, and you're like, well, let me just do what's easy. Because because we, for some reason, people try to model these really famous rappers when we could talk more about why I think that's not the right idea, but it's like you could try to model Uzi and Migos, but dude, Migos opened for Drake when Drake went on tour. Young Thug opened. So who do you really want to be? Do you really want to be these dudes? Because they might look dope to you, and they're great, but like Drake will never open for anybody. J. Cole never opens. Like that will never, they might get brought out on stage as a guest. They'll never open though. So if you're still opening for people, that means that you're probably, there's that tier. There's those top tiers. Like, so I don't know. I just think rappers need to focus more on doing them and doing their own sound and just making like what they want to hear and make it unique and real rather than trying to, oh, well, Lil Uzi Vert pop, so we're going to make music like, it's like, bro, but that's him. Like, I don't know. That's just that's my stance on it.
And I love that answer that you gave. And that's something I just looked at too. If you look at the rappers that I was describing earlier, like you said, look who the openers are and look who the main attraction is. Look who the main event is. And I think that longevity goes with that because you have Jay-Z, who is 50 years old, who still can have a #1 album. It still is like the leader in rap. Then you have Eminem. He's in almost 50. You know, he's in his late 40s and still putting out, going #1 on the Billboard charts. And then you have people like J. Cole, who came out like 10 years ago, but him and Drake and Kendrick Lamar are still at the top tier. And I personally don't feel like anybody has came and kind of replaced them as far as like the new generation of rappers. They're still at that point. So I'm glad that you put that out there. Mm-hmm. So my other question is, this is one thing I really wanted to know. As a white rapper, right?
Yeah.
Lord Jamar, do you follow Vlad TV and Lord Jamar?
I do follow Vlad TV, but not Lord Jamar as much. Tell me about it, though.
So with him, he said, and this is what Eminem, because Eminem is one of my favorite rappers of all time. But Lord Jamar, like he just kept saying, you know, white rappers are guests in the house of hip hop. And Eminem responded to it saying, hey, you know, recently he said, okay, that is true. But you know, I put on other people. I put on 50 Cent. You know what I'm saying? I've inspired Kendrick Lamar's. I inspired Big Sean's and all this other stuff. So what is your response to a question, or not the question, but if someone says that white rappers are guests in the house of hip hop, how do you feel about that?
Dude, so glad you're asking this. I'm so glad you're asking this. It's such a good question. And yeah, I think it's true. I mean, I'm not going to lie. So I know, you know, I know where hip hop came from. I know it came from blues and jazz, and I know where that came from. And it came from a place of being oppressed. And oh man, dude, I've really thought a lot about this. So I want to make sure I really say the right things. But
you're going in the right direction. I like that answer.
Yeah. So like I never feel like, what's the word? Like I never feel like left out. Oh, like I never make a pity party. Like, oh, I'm a white rapper, I'm not going to get accepted. I don't know. Some people have done that. Mm-hmm. And some people say that too. Like what you said, Lord Jamar says we're guests. You know what? I humbly accept that completely. I accept that I don't need to necessarily be 100% welcome by everybody. And if you are a type of hip hop fan that just doesn't want to accept white rappers, then I can completely respect that. And there's nothing wrong with that to me. But I'm going to let you go do that and let you have that opinion, but I'm going to still make music. That's not going to stop me from making music. But I respect the culture. I respect where it came from. Hip hop comes from a place of pain and struggle. And my opinion is pain and struggle is completely relative. My pain and struggle is nowhere near what somebody else is going through. So I'm not going to sit here and cry like, well, I'm struggling too. It's like, no. I know I'm white. Like I'm a white heterosexual male. I've got it good. So I'm not going to sit here and compare my struggle to your struggle. Right. But that doesn't mean I still don't go through shit. I still go through heartbreak. Like I still go through people double crossing me and talking shit about me. And I still go through the struggles of I'm in a fucking garage. It's hot in the summer and cold in the winter. I'm out here freezing my toes off while I'm putting this music out. So whether you want to accept me in the house or not, like doesn't fucking matter. I'm still going through something. I'm still grinding. Plus, my intention is to inspire you. So for anybody who just chooses not to accept me because I'm white, it's like, dude, okay, fine, whatever, dude. I respect the culture, but I'm still in love with the culture. Hip hop changed my life. I wouldn't be anything without hip hop. And I don't care if I'm black, white, Asian, Mexican, fucking purple, orange, whatever. I still love the culture and respect it. So, I mean, I respect that. I think, yes, I'm a guest in the culture. But, by the way, we're also going through huge, fast changes. Like, time's moving faster right now. So, if we're going to sit here and still talk about that, it's like, dude, in 10 years from now, that is going to be – I think that 10, 20 years from now, those kinds of statements are going to be looked at as, oh, that's an old head hating. Like right now, that's a true statement. But I think in 20 years from now, there will be no barriers in terms of anything. And I just think that it's like, you know, what about Indian rappers? What about German rappers? What about Chinese rappers? It's like, dude, you can say that we're guests all you want. Just it doesn't, to me, it's like, I don't know, bro. I have this respect for it. I have a respect that but I also have this, like, it also kind of doesn't matter in a way. You can say all you want, but we're still going to put out music. We're still going to talk our struggle. We still love hip hop and we love black culture. So I don't think we should be trying to push people out. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely. And I
kind of a
think he
lot,
probably
but
brought that up as a way of just saying, putting it out there. But I think that everything that you thoroughly just explained, like someone that's African American can look at that, Black American can look at that and just say, hey, he respects it. He knows where it came from and isn't trying to appropriate it. This is a part of it. Because I look at Eminem. Eminem came up through hip hop. Culture vultures are people who, because you don't have to be white to be a culture vulture. You don't have to be any particular race. It could be a Black person that grew up in the suburbs who had nothing to do with hip hop, but wanted to appropriate it to gain money. You know what I'm saying?
oh yeah.
So I think that anybody who appreciates the culture and recognize the history that it came from, you A1 with me. And like I said, Eminem is one of my favorite rappers of all time.
Right.
I don't think any artist compares to him and his unique style and formula, what he does. And one thing I don't like is when people say that just because he's white, that's where, I think that helped him get to where he is, but I don't think anybody else has done what he's done in hip hop just in general. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I do like what you said about how I can still rap about the struggle, things that I go through, because we all are in America, you know what I'm saying? So we are part of the same, like we're part of one melting pot in general. So I like that answer that you gave right there. So
Yeah.
what do you think stands out most about your music? Like as far as your peers, your fans, because I see you have a nice following. What do people say, like, hey, like what do you think that makes your music stand out amongst anybody else that's out there right
Well, I mean, I know what people always say to me is they love the fact that I put so much emotion into my music and they know it's real. Um, I think recently, like within the past year, my hooks and choruses have gotten a lot catchier.
now?
That used to be a huge struggle for me. When I first started, it was just rap. Like
Mm-hmm.
I literally used to make 3-minute songs where it was just one long ass verse, just rapping,
Yeah,
or 2
just
minutes or
straight
whatever.
bar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
straight bars, or even my hooks would be really bad. They'd be just whatever. But I think in the past year, my hooks have gotten a lot catchier. One thing too that I think stands out with my actual like the beats, like I produce my music. I sometimes will accept beats from other producers, but 80-90% of my songs, I fully produce them. That one stands out. But also what I actually know how to play piano. I've been taking piano lessons for almost 2 years. So I know
Mhm.
music theory. So like my melodies and my structure of how I like make chord progressions and stuff, like I make melodies that are unique to me. So I think that my combination of like knowing music theory, my real lyrics, and the hooks all comes together to form its own sort of like brand of music. I also think the other thing too, like one thing that I've tried really, really, really hard to do is be eclectic. One dude actually like that really inspired that was Kanye, and then XXX Tentacion. Like one of his albums I heard was like every song was a different genre. Like it was like a metal song, and then it was like a punk rock song, then it was like a pop song, it was like a funny hip hop song. I was like, how does he have an album with different genres? So I was like, I want to do music where there's love songs, R&B, and then there's hype up songs, and then there's real shit songs and smooth drive at night songs. So I try to make a mixture as best I can, and just kind of and keep it organic to myself. But I would say those are the other thing too, bro. Like not music related, it's just the engagement that I have on social. Like I'm super engaged with whoever engages with me, and that actually drives home a lot of depth. And that's something I think a lot of artists struggle with a lot. I think a lot of artists are worried about the quantity of followers and like, how do I get more followers? But you really need to focus on the people who you're already in touch with. Like even like when I first started, it was just my little group of homies, but it was like, all right, I'm going to do everything I can to just make my little group of friends love my music first. Even though they're my friends, I always remember they don't have to like my music. Like they're choosing to like it. So that's one thing that separates me is my, like you see in my YouTube, it's just like, not only am I consistent with the content, but everybody who comments, I comment back, I reply to comments, DMs, I respond, unless it's somebody who's just trying to poach free beats off me or just try to like, I don't know, jack a collab off me or something. Like I'll respond to 99% of my DMs. So I think all those things come together I think all those things come together, and that's what separates me.
That's dope. So my next question is, what one thing that I was thinking about is, are you a fan of like the Marvel films and stuff like that?
I'm not a humongo, like, I love it, but I'm not like, I don't know that much about it.
The reason I brought it up is because one thing is when Tony Stark first met Spider-Man, he was like, he was at his crib, and he was like, "What inspires you to get up out this twin bed every day? Like, what makes you do that?" So I always think about that when it comes to why I do things. Like somebody saying, "Hey, what inspires you to do that? What inspires you to do that?" So what keeps you going as far as making music? Doing your podcast? Because I know the cliche thing to say is like, I want to make it big, get a million, get millions of dollars, get famous, all that type of stuff. But what do you think the main thing is because everybody struggles as an independent artist,
Yeah.
It's not for the weak, like you have to be on top of it. Some people just choose to just go to work 40 hours a week, 60 hours, come home, and then that's it, and work in that career. But as a hip hop indie artist, what do you think drives you every day to say, I'm going to keep pushing out stuff, keep pushing it out, keep pushing it out? Like, what do you think it is?
Bro, I mean, what keeps me motivated is, dude, literally I have so many things I want to say. I'm trying to sort everything out. I mean, what keeps me motivated, like, so when I was younger and I was like in school, elementary, middle school, high school, college, I hated school. I was a really poor student. And the reason for that was I'm such a free thinker. I'm independent. And I don't know, I just feel like I never will forget every moment that I had in a classroom thinking, this is so not for me. Like, this structure isn't for me. And what I saw after college for the route they want you to go on is just continuing that route of feeling mentally in a prison, feeling like you have to listen to other people, doing what everybody else does, even though they don't like it. It's not fulfilling them. So what keeps me getting out of bed every day is just thinking, like, I do not want to live. I don't want to do what everybody else. I just want to do what I want to do. I want to live a life of purpose. I want to feel like what I'm doing is actually fulfilling. The other thing is kind of interesting too. I just learned about this, but there's 6 human needs, like 6 human desires. One of them is significance. So every human is motivated by one of these 6 things, or one or two of these 6 things. It's certainty, and then there's uncertainty and variety. I'm reading it off. I took notes on this. Significance, connection and love, growth, and contribution. And so everybody's motivated by at least one of those things. Mine certainly is significance. Like, I'm motivated by feeling significant. I want to feel like I'm like the GOAT. Like, I want to feel big and strong and like powerful. That's my thing. And the thing that makes me feel big, strong, and powerful is people telling me that my music influenced them, or that my music inspired them, or that they get through their day by listening to my music. Like, that is what makes me cocky and arrogant. Not how many chains I wear, or how many bitches are around me, or, what car I drive. Although that stuff's cool, obviously. But what has been continuing to drive me through the struggle of not making it is the fact that people DM me and say, dude, your music got me through my day, or I've been going through the last 5 months have been super tough for me. But when I go to work, on the way to work, I blast your music and it gets me through my day. And I'm like, holy shit. Like, the fact that my music touches people like that, seeing people actually purchase our clothing that I know that, or even I've had people purchase my clothing that I've never met in person that are connected with me on Instagram. That is like, whoa, like, that's insane that we're getting to this point where our brand is getting nationwide and global. And so going from that point of when I was 17 years old and I decided I wanted to make music a thing, to now I'm 26 years old and people DM me and comment constantly. The fact that you and we're strangers, we just met today, that we're able to network via the social media platforms we have at our disposal. The fact that I can look on my phone, I can wake up and I look on my Shopify app and there's 4 orders that 4 people I don't know. It's like, absolutely. Whoa, bro, what is going, like, what, all from me just going hard and just continuing to stay motivated. So I would say that's definitely what keeps me motivated, and also just my aspirations of wanting to um, help take other people to that next level and wanting to get other artists to pop. Like I always thought it was cool that I would see like Jay-Z was kind of responsible for Kanye getting big, and Kanye helped Rick Ross, and Jay-Z helped J. Cole. I think it's like to me, like the biggest artist of all time, it's all to me based on influence. It's whoever has influenced the most people. And so you obviously look at Dr. Dre's got to be a top 5 most influential character. If you look at all the careers he's responsible for. And then, so for me, it's like, well, I want to be responsible for somebody's career. I think that would be sick because my friends helped me in my career a lot, but nobody's responsible for my career at this point. Maybe somebody will be, but I want to be responsible for people's careers. So I think that's all the stuff right there. Probably that's everything that motivates me.
Man, that was a lot. It was so many things to dissect right there. But I feel that 110%. You know, that's the same thing. Pretty much what you said is what keeps me motivated. You know, the fact that a stranger can come into your inbox and say, "Hey, I watch your show. I would like to get on the interview." You know,
right?
Or someone like that can say that your single, your song off of your album, or your album touched them. You know. That's like, and I think that a lot of like people who have made it in the industry, like DMX, I always remember he had his own reality show, and someone came up to him at a gas station, was like, "Your music got me through this, got me through that," and he was just like, "See, that's the reason I do that right there. Like, you can get the fame, you can get the money, you can do all that stuff, but being able to tour and reach people that you never met before, but knowing that what you're doing in music, everything that comes from up here influences and can change the world and helps people from quitting their jobs, to be able to be an artist and all that stuff." So I really, really appreciate that. It's a lot
I
of
appreciate you, man. Thank you. I appreciate you just saying all that, man. Seriously.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a lot of major keys that we've been dropping in this interview. Where are your projects? Like, do you have any albums that are out right now, like on?
Oh, bro, my
iTunes?
albums are so fucking old. I don't even want to tell people where they are. Like I haven't put out a fucking. You can so like, and I had a bunch of name changes. Like my old projects are like mixtapes, EPs, and stuff I put out. But like recently, like the past couple of years, I've only been putting out singles. So if you go to Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, Deezer, SoundCloud, all that, Leezythegifted, all one word. That's the best place to find all my music. It's all mostly singles.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
So what I want to do right now, before we end it, because we're gonna go on all of your social media and stuff. Do you have? It don't have to be 16 bars, but do you have any type of rap that you could spit, like a good?
Holy shit.
You got anything you want.
Shit.
It could even be a hook or just something, but just some bars. Give me like good 8 bars or something.
Big talk conversations, everybody with it. Podcast every week. I know you see the vision. Not stress, baby, we living. We focused on the mission. The people love me. I don't have to beg them all to listen. Let me know if you see issues. I'm going to change it up. This is too good to be true, but you know I can't make this up. Take it up with the boss. That's me. Never take a back seat. Too fast, they can't catch me. Try to bring me down. I think you need to relax, please. Making all these moves, so many try to ask me. Bring me good energy, and I'm going to tell you gladly, expanding all my skills. They want to work badly. Now it's time. Time to feed the fam. Numbers in my account, not numbers on the gram. Making everybody understand. Owning up to all your shit. How you gonna become a man? Don't get stressed out about the plan. Take action. Put in work. Gain some fans. Give y'all everything. Everything that I got. Gifted by choice. Put it on my back. We take it to the top.
Hey, that was fire, man. That was fire.
Spot,
Leezy,
that made me
the
nervous
Gifted.
as fuck. That made me.
I had to put you on the spot. I had to put you on the spot, man. But ladies and gentlemen, that was Leezy the Gifted. Now, Leezy the Gifted, where can we find, like as you said, you got your material, your clothing, your Shopify. What do we type in, and how can we follow you on Instagram? Like, lay all that out so we can find it, man.
Man, the best way to get in touch with me, go to Instagram at Leezythegifted, all one word. My YouTube channel at Leezythegifted, all one word. If you're interested in getting our merchandise, giftedbychoice.com. If you're a rapper and you want 5 free beats, go to 5freebeats.com and you can sign up to my email list, and I'm going to give you 5 free beats. 5, the number 5, FREEBEATS.com, 5freebeats.com. You get 5 free beats from me, and we can start connecting and working together. Apple Music, Spotify, Leezythegifted. If you want to check me out, I would love to connect with as many people as possible. Shoot me a DM on Insta and just say, hey, I watched the interview with Jay and you. That was awesome. So, yeah, I appreciate the time here, man, for real. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And, you know, we'll stay connected. You know, I'm interested in hearing more beats and stuff because I'm always looking for things, you know. Redheads, if you haven't got my album, it's Once Too. It's available on all streaming platforms. Make sure that you subscribe to the official YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/WeAuthenticNetwork. Follow me at JAYR3D on Instagram, all social media. I just put a promo out, so make sure that you look at the tomorrow video promo that I just put out, and also visit redsview.com. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Reds View. Also, there, look, there it is. He got it. He got it right there. Yeah, but I'm gonna do my part in checking his stuff out. As you can see, he's an MC. Gave us some nice bars and everything like that. You want to shout anybody out before we get out of here, man?
Do I want to shout anybody out? Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to you listening. Shout out to all the independent rappers who are frustrated with where they're at in their music career, because I know how hard that is. Like, just keep going, keep grinding, keep doing your thing, because I think there's a lot of things possible, and I think there's a lot of things on the horizon. And shout out to everybody who's just trying to make their dreams come true and be a positive impact. I love you guys and I appreciate you guys.
All right, bet, ladies and gentlemen, this is Reds View, Leezy the Great, J Red, and we are signing out.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.